What's up, Westview? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
We get nerdy nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
Spoilers for episode 6 of WandaVision. Do not watch this until you watch that. That is right. Welcome back to another spoiler chat. Spoiler chat. Have we said enough? Spoilers. SPOILER. Spoilers for episode 6 of WandaVision, the 90s episode.
Yeah, this was fun. I think the first thing that you said about it was that that 90s nostalgia, that Malcolm in the Middle vibes we got from that intro. I was saying that intro is great. We need to make that like a trending TikTok sound. You know, it's a bop. It's a bop. That intro is very, very good.
Yeah, I'm definitely currently trying to make sure that it's episode 6 and not episode 5.
It's 6.
Last
week
6?
was 5. Yeah,
Last week was 5? Okay, yep. I got very nervous.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing?
I was literally like, what episode of WandaVision did I watch this morning?
Although I don't know what this one was called.
Yeah, I'll find that out. You talk. Talk about the nostalgia.
The nostalgia. Well, we talked about how, you know, it's cool to see the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s for people our age, but it's not that nostalgic thing that we grew up with. You know, the 90s, the 2000s, that's where it's going to be at for us. And this intro was definitely, it felt a little more sentimental in a way.
Well, because it felt like the kinds of, it felt like the shows that we watched when we were kids, right? Yeah. Like, this very much had a Malcolm in the Middle. That all I could think about when I was watching the intro was Malcolm in the Middle. It very much felt like that. Sorry about that. This one was called The All-New Halloween Spooktacular.
Very
Perfect
nice.
title. Perfect title. I love a Halloween episode. I always love a Halloween episode. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably my least favorite episode of the series so far, in that it did not feel as...
didn't feel as groundbreaking.
Yeah, the show has really managed to feel groundbreaking pretty consistently, and I think part of it is that the 90s sitcom in Westview isn't as asynchronous with what's going on outside in terms of film quality and whatnot. And so it didn't have that feeling as much. But that is because the show is starting to congeal into... when we were talking about it on the morning show this morning, I said that this was the pivot episode. Yes. This is where the show pivoted from setting up the world to the
finale, heading towards the end, the conclusion.
The race to the climax, right?
Yeah.
And so as a pivot episode, there's a lot of setup, there's a lot of placement of characters.
Yes.
And there's not really any big reveals.
No.
Other than the one huge reveal.
With Vision?
No, with Quicksilver. In the comments of our spoiler chat last week, people were talking about how, well, maybe Quicksilver didn't die, or like people were like, well, no, Wanda was talking about how Quicksilver was far away, not that he was dead in the last episode. And I was like, no, that seems off.
Yeah.
In this, she looks over at him and
he has bullet wounds and is very much dead.
Much like the Vision when she looked at Vision in episode 3 when he was dead.
No, he is dead.
He is dead
for sure. Although the one line that did stick out to me is he was like, I heard you calling my name or something like that. He says he like heard her
from beyond the grave. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was odd. I was like,
here's the thing: in the Marvel universe, there is life after death.
Yeah, there's like a afterlife.
Ish. Yeah, and there's like hell. Like, it's very complicated because there's also because like there's also like what is it? The Fields of Valhalla. Like, that also exists.
Right.
Like, the Marvel Universe life after death concept gets a little confusing.
Yes, it does.
So Pietro is somewhere.
Yeah.
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 And here's the thing. Y'all, here's the thing. We've talked about this before. I think that Mephisto is going to end up being the big bad of this somehow. Even though this episode makes it really hard to make the case that Wanda is not a bad person.
Unless it's Doctor Strange. I still stand that theory.
You still think it's Doctor Strange?
I think it would be fun. I don't
think he's the villain, though.
I don't think it really is. I just, like, I don't know.
You just want more Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
No, this episode made it hard, like, because Wanda is aggressive in this.
Yes.
Not
violent.
Yes.
Well...
She attacks Pietro.
Oh, that's true.
She straight up is like, ba-ding, and he's like, ba-doom.
Yeah, that moment was weird to me.
It wasn't. He brought up that Vision's dead in front of her kids.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think what's interesting is finding out that Wanda can, Wanda's ability, she can shut down Vision's power. Or, Quicksilver's power. And that her, because this episode also, oh my god, huge. The big thing about this episode was it introduced that her kids have superpowers.
Have powers, yes. There's a little mini Quicksilver.
The nerdy one can shut down the cool one's Quicksilver powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is very fun to play with.
Mm-hmm.
It's very like Zack and Cody, if they had superpowers.
Oh my god, I didn't even... That is such a good way to describe their personalities.
Yeah.
They are literally Zack and Cody.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah. I
Oh my god.
I
Are
love
we going to
it.
get a Sweet Life on Deck episode of
WandaVision? They're just suddenly on a boat and you're like, what?
I'm on a boat, yeah. I got my flippy floppies.
I would actually love that.
I would love that if they were just suddenly on a boat, but still in the middle of New Jersey.
Yeah. Here's
the Zack and Cody of the Marvel Universe.
They are. They totally are.
Oh god, I would watch that show because I watched Zack and
100%.
Cody and I did watch Sweet Life on Deck.
That was my favorite show, definitely growing up. Sweet Life. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
No, the other thing that we found out is what happens when Vision leaves the force
community.
field.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he goes outside of it. And like that was hard to watch. Oh my god, him being ripped apart and slowly dying was
it was brutal.
Horrible.
And then it would cut to like Halloween like shenanigans. And you'd be
Yeah.
like, Vision's kind of being like torn. Also, really interesting, we got to see Vision explore Westview outside of Wanda's immediate purview.
Yeah.
And it started to answer some of my questions that I've been having in these spoiler chats where I've been like, is she controlling the people in the office with him, right?
Yeah.
Like, how much control is she exerting over every single person in Westview? And when he walks into that cul-de-sac and everyone is just frozen,
Yeah.
horrifying.
Yeah, truly.
Also, really interesting to see after the last episode, Vision being like, where are the children, Wanda? Like, why are there no kids in Westview? And she's like, there's plenty of kids. Immediately the next episode,
There's
tons of kids.
a lot of children in this episode.
God, this show is so smart.
It is. It really is. It's brilliant.
Oh, I love it so much.
Even though this was not like our favorite episode out of all of them, still solid, loved it. No complaints, really. Like,
yeah, it's only not my favorite because it's the first episode of this show, and it's because it had to set up the it had to put everyone in place to move towards the finale.
Yeah.
Kat Dennings had to get swallowed into Westview after learning the big information about Haywood, so that the audience knows that there's big information about Haywood, but our protagonists on the outside can't communicate it yet. They can't find it out until they get Kat Dennings' brain back, or Vision will find it out first, or something like that.
We also know
Haywood had to lose his army of soldiers, so that
They're now a circus.
They're now a circus.
Which is great.
Wu and Rambeau are headed to meet the aerospace engineer that everyone wants to be Reed Richards. I don't think it's going to be Reed Richards, but it might be Reed Richards.
Let's see.
I really hope that if it's Reed Richards, it's Johan, I don't know how to pronounce his first name, Gufford, who played him in the Fantastic Four movies. I really hope it's him. I hope he and Jessica Alba show up.
Oh my god.
With Chris Evans as the Human Torch.
Okay, that's a bit of a stretch.
There has been a rumor going around that Chris Evans will appear in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness as the Human Torch.
Interesting.
Because it's the Multiverse of Madness. Like, there is totally room for Chris Evans to make a really funny cameo as Johnny Storm. And I hope that happens in this show. When the original, the 2000s Fantastic Four team shows up, and everyone's like,
that would be very funny. Here's the thing, it would feel very out of place, but it would be very funny.
Does it feel any more out of place than Evan Peters as Quicksilver in this, though?
Yeah.
Wearing the, like, original... we knew...
The other thing was all the original costumes for the heroes was so brilliant.
Yeah,
I
so
loved
funny.
that.
Yeah. And we got spoiled that in the trailers for Wanda and for Vision, obviously. That we've been seeing that for a while. We knew we were going to get that Halloween costume version of their original costumes from the comics.
Yeah.
But in the pan over when we saw Quicksilver in his, that brought me a lot of joy seeing the original Quicksilver costume. It's so goofy. Mm-hmm. It's so goofy, but it's, I read those X-Men comics religiously as a kid, and I'm glad they've taken away the physical intimacy of Wanda and Pietro, which in the comics is always a little too weird. They are always just a little too touchy with each other. But they're weird twins who were like raised in a cave. It happens.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like European cultures are more touchy than like American cultures.
Yeah, no, there's.
All right, I clearly am missing out on some information.
There's some comics where you're like, why are they like wrapped around each other? And it's like, well, Wanda and Pietro, and you're like, all right.
Okay.
When you're 9, you're like, that's
it's not
weird.
Some like weird Game of Thrones thing, or
no.
Okay,
no.
All right, just checking.
No, you just think it is, but it's not. It never crosses that line. But in the comics, it's always a little bit like, ooh, Wanda and Pietro.
Maybe that's where all. Never mind.
What?
Nothing. No.
You said you love the Scarlet Witch costume.
I do. I want it.
Yeah, it's cute.
As soon after we finished watching it, I messaged my cosplay guy and I was like, "How quickly could I get the OG Scarlet Witch outfit?"
Did you actually?
I did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I know.
That's funny. Yeah, because that would be a great one to put out.
It's like hypothetically.
Hypothetically
is what I said. But yeah, I loved it.
It's easy to see why they've never used it in the MCU. Like it's a tough live action costume.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Fun.
It's so fun, and she looked great. Vision looked great. Quicksilver looked great. Yeah, they really.
It's hard to pull off that yellow cape and like green.
It's the yellow basketball shorts over the tights. For me, that's
because
what
they can't have
did.
Like too much of a like.
Oh
they
no!
Can't show anything.
In the comics, he has yellow loose yellow shorts. Oh no, that is perfectly how it's drawn.
No, I know.
His shorts are like flowing.
I feel like the design was meant for that so that they didn't have to draw like a male spandex, like so it was more like kid friendly.
I mean, they don't really care about that in comics. There's a lot of very tight spandex on a lot of men and women.
That's fair. I just was like...
That's never really a concern in the comics.
No, it's just one of those like interesting choices where I was like, oh, it's like a modesty thing. Got it.
No, because otherwise, when Vision's in his like normal Avenger suit, there wouldn't be such a weird like shifty bulge there.
Fair.
There's a couple of shots in this trailer when he's walking where you're like, ooh, it's like watching John Hamm walk in sweatpants. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. We've all seen it. We've all seen it. We've all dissected it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you know what? I think that I think that right now this episode doesn't strike me as like one of the best episodes of the show, even though it's very good because it didn't have any like big reveals. But I think like on a rewatch, I'm gonna appreciate this episode a lot for the fun of it, for how good Evan Peters is. We haven't even talked about how good he is at playing this like off-putting, very wrong version of Quicksilver.
Yeah.
That's intentionally
it's so
wrong.
Good. Yeah.
Because it puts it's the first time we've seen Wanda be put off by someone that she can't just blip back, that she can't just fix immediately. Because I think that it's the first time we've seen her trying to have to figure something out, as opposed to just being like, and rewind, or and cut, or and boof, you're gone. This is the first person where she's like, how do I approach this? And I appreciated the moment where she was like, and I'm done with you.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. The one thing that I'm excited to learn about is in this episode we discovered that Rambo's DNA has been, we don't really know.
Yeah, they use the word metastasizing.
Yeah.
So I think that they're implying that going through the barrier is giving her cancer.
Or something like that. Like,
because it is radiation.
It's scrambling the cells. Yeah, so I'm excited to see... Well, I'm not excited. But I'm interested to see what the consequences are of, like, going in and out of this, like, force field. Because I don't think that I don't think they would have brought something up like that if it wasn't going to play a part in... later on in the series.
Here's the thing that I want to question. We know that Monica Rambeau, in the comics, has superpowers. We know that. Is being the person who goes through the barrier the most going to make her the next Captain Marvel? Or whatever superhero name she ends up with, because I don't think Brie Larson's going to stop being Captain Marvel anytime soon. But they said metastasizing, they made it seem like she's getting cancer, right? what if she's not? What if she is getting superpowers?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, like, all of Captain Marvel, her powers are the offshoot of an Infinity Stone, right? Scarlet Witch's powers are the offshoot of an Infinity Stone. Vision's powers are from an Infinity Stone. Weirdly, when Vision leaves Westview, he has the Infinity Stone in his head. The Mind Stone is in the center of his forehead. We didn't talk about that. That is a big spoiler. Does he have the Mind Stone? Does the Mind Stone still exist? How is that possible?
Yeah, that one's confusing. I'm not... I don't really know what's going on there.
Is Wanda still controlling how he looks outside of Westview? Can she do that? Or is, like, him being pulled back, is that because he hasn't really left? Is he, like, still in the barrier? He's just pushing the barrier forward?
But he didn't push the barrier forward.
No, but, like, you know how, like, you can, like, if you have a balloon, you can stick your finger through it and the balloon stretches around your finger?
Yeah.
I think maybe that's what's happening. Like, Vision is the finger pushing the edge of the balloon. Oh, I'm a genius.
Well done.
Genius.
Here's the thing. He was definitely not fully within the boundary of her powers because he died. You know what I mean?
Did he? Is he dead?
I don't think he's dead now. I think he's back because she she pushed it out.
So does he have a Mind Stone?
Don't know.
Guys, so many questions. Big questions. Who's the aerospace engineer? Hopefully we'll meet them next episode. I don't think they're going up to the ridge. I will meet that person. I'm assuming that's going to be the big cameo that Elizabeth Olsen was talking about.
Yeah.
Are WandaVision's kids, are they real kids? Like, will those characters continue to exist past the series?
Yeah, I don't know.
How good is Kat Dennings going to be at playing a sitcom character next episode?
Amazing.
I'm so excited.
I cannot wait.
really hope that she's working in a diner.
Right. We talked about this.
I hope that they full on make her into her character from Two Broke Girls.
Yeah.
I think that would be so funny. What's the other big question? Will we see... Oh, the other big question for me is, will we see actual MCU Quicksilver make an appearance?
Oh.
Is Aaron Taylor-Johnson going to appear? And can we get some Quicksilver on Quicksilver action?
I thought we were trying to make our YouTube videos all ages.
I was talking about fighting. I mean, I'd watch them make out. Men can make out on YouTube, right? I think I don't know. I think YouTube actually has a policy of demonetizing LGBT plus content because I don't know why. I don't know why you would demonetize LGBT plus people. They're wonderful.
That's
YouTube,
dumb.
get your stuff together.
Yeah. Well, anyways.
Those are my big questions.
Yeah.
Also, is Monica Rambeau getting superpowers by turning into a sitcom character over and over again?
I hope so. I really hope so. It's going to be great.
What if this is how they create the X-Men and everyone inside of Westview just becomes the X-Men moving forward?
I was kind of thinking that. I'm not going to lie.
Like, this is where they all get their powers from?
Yeah. Is that weird? Like, I was actually, like, kind of thinking about that. It's like, this is how she makes the X-Men. I don't know.
Oh, God. It wouldn't be the dumbest thing? It wouldn't be the best way to launch the X-Men, but it wouldn't be the dumbest way.
Yeah. I don't know. We're going to find out, guys. We only have a few more episodes left.
They're just going to pan across, like, a street on the edge of town, and there's going to be a manor with, like, a bald man sitting in a wheelchair. You're going to be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I stan it. I'm here for it.
Can you imagine if this is the introduction of the X-Men? Oh, my God. If you're right, if that is what happens, I don't even know how I'm going to feel about it.
Should we make a bet?
No, we always make bets, and we've never actually followed through on them.
Well, yeah, because the last bet we made was for 2025.
Is something in our apartment?
Guys, our apartment is haunted.
All right, well, we're going to end our show there.
Please subscribe to the YouTube if you're not already. We're trying to get 1,000 subscribers. We also stream video games on
Comment your
Twitch.
thoughts on the episode below. We're going to go find out what's in our apartment.
Do something nerdy tonight, guys.
Where's the mouse? Bye-bye.
Bye.